Hey, it's Jason, and I'm on the hunt for another Land Rover. This time it is a 1975 Land Rover Series 109 pickup. The Series 109 was in existence, or produced I should say, from 1968 to 1977. So this is a later model 109. This specific one is an import. The gentleman that had it imported it from the British military, probably in the early 2000s, I would guess. And it's not really restored. It looks pretty rough. I'm not sure how I feel about this truck. I really like the idea of owning a 1975 Series 109 Land Rover, British military import. But the condition of it looks to be a little detrimental. So time will tell as I pull up to this gentleman's house. The big difference with the 109, as I understand it, is the suspension, and it uses more of a drop shackle suspension, which I don't know a whole lot about. And given this was a military import to the States, I'm sure it is going to be a little more basic, I guess you could say. And the gentleman that had it was working on it. Evidently it was running a few years ago, and now it's no longer running. And unfortunately, the gentleman that owned it, he did pass away. He was an older guy, and it sat for a few years, and the family is now going through the estate and getting rid of it. So here's my concern, though. It looks like it has sat on, in a forest under trees, covered in leaves and even moss. It looks like it has some really nice patina on it, but I'm concerned because he states there's some rust on it, and I'm concerned the frame might just be totally rotten. And if the frame is like that, you have to put a new galvanized frame on it, which can be, the frame alone can be like $4,000, and then the actual work to lift it off and put it on, none of which I can do because I don't have a facility or actually the experience to do it. So this could be a very expensive restoration process, because it absolutely will have things well beyond my abilities. But as you can see, I'm located in northern Maryland. This is a town off of Interstate 95. You can see all the old farm buildings and everything. I'm really excited to see what this 109 looks like. And just the idea of having this in my collection is exciting to me. But I don't want to have something that just sits, that I can't drive, or that would cost me too much money to fix. And what I mean by that is, I always try to balance the money I put into a car. If I have to sell it, would I get my money back? And I pulled some metrics, and the 109s, the high fully restored ones were selling for like $20,000 from what I saw on the internet, looking at some auction websites. So you really got to balance the, if you buy it for $2-3 and put $15,000 into it, you're not going to make a whole lot of money. I'm not in this to make money, but I'm certainly not in it to lose money. So as you can see, it's a pretty rural area here, and I'm pulling up to his house, which is somewhat isolated. It looks like he lives along a creek here, and you can see all the trees and everything. So it definitely would be in a forest type area with concerns of a lot of rust. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and pull up and take a look at the car. So this is the 75 Land Rover Series 109. And she is a rust bucket, as I expected. Okay, so I looked at the 109 Land Rover, and it is a lot more rusty and in a shape that is just a little too much for what I can do. I think the guy has it listed at a reasonable price, but I do think the price would be for somebody that can do a lot of this work on their own, which would require taking the whole body off, and I would want to put a new chassis on. So, you know, basically the situation is the guy had this car. He actually bought it for $8 grand in 2007 from an importer in North Carolina. I have to imagine it was in better shape when he bought it in 2007, but it looks like he just kind of stayed along this creek and in the woods and just really rusted out. You know, it's not running. It has newer tires on it, but somebody was tinkering with it and didn't quite finish it either. So it's kind of unfortunate. I hate, you know, knowing that the car was probably in much better shape in 2007 and it got in that condition in, what, 14 years. And, you know, he has a few folks that are interested in buying it, which I think is great. And, you know, for me, I wouldn't have paid more than $1,400 for it. And that would just be, you know, my top, because I think it needs easily 10+ thousand. And as I mentioned, you know, they're not selling like the Defenders 50 grand, unless you put, you know, 50 grand into it probably. So that's this journey. It was cool to see this property. I've never been in this part of Maryland for any length of time. Cecil County, Maryland. I've never really been here. And you know, he did give me some cool hitches though, and he didn't want, and I took them. Why not? And a grill, which looks like it may have been to like a Series III Land Rover. So you know, met somebody new, learned about a car. He had the invoice on it of what he paid, or what his dad paid, and I'm going to try to help him find a buyer that is not me, but I'm going to post some photos a little bit more broadly than he has. So that's the hunting Land Rover Series 109 from 1975 adventure. Thanks for tuning in. On to the next hunt that I have, looking for cars for my car collection. And you can check out my blog, www.jamz.net, and follow along. Watch videos, give me some feedback. If you're interested in the car, let me know. I'll connect you with the owner. See you later.